Hello and welcome to Three Questions With. Got my buddy David Ceruolo with us. Good afternoon, David. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
I just living the dream, my friend. David, I asked you to come on the show today to talk about estate planning. I guess when I think about it, David, I think about people around my age, 58 years old. Maybe we should do that estate plan. Is that typically when you see people start to think about it?
Yes, well, I see typically people around their 50s when they start to think about it, especially when they have to start taking care of elderly parents. And so usually what gets folks in the door in their 50s is when they have elderly parents and they're trying to figure out how to take care of mom and dad or both of them. Depending on mom and dad's capacity at that point, we can do healthcare proxy, which is to take care of them, appoint an agent to take care of them while they're alive, to make the medical decisions for them. We can talk about a power of attorney, which is basically an agency, once again, while they're still alive, to help them with their money. And then the will, of course, is when they pass away and they designate somebody to handle the estate and pay off the expenses and distribute the money the way they want. So that usually gets folks, that's what people are coming to me in their 50s trying to do, is to help mom and dad. But then we focus on them, and the same three documents would apply to them as well. And it's a good idea to have those three, as I call them, simple estate planning documents in place for yourself, because something happens to you while you're still alive and you still don't have any of those documents in place, then loved ones have to go to the probate court to get an order to act on your behalf, whether it's a guardianship or a conservatorship. So it's important.
But David, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think anything bad's going to happen to me, because really that's what it is. In most cases,
It's
you're like,
morbid.
David, please, don't jinx me, man,
Yeah.
But I look at it from a different standpoint. Again, I'm not an attorney. I feel it's almost disrespectful to my loved ones to put them in that situation. They shouldn't have to go to probate or be in a situation where they're trying to figure out what to do. I should have laid that groundwork for them so they know exactly what I wanted to happen. Makes sense?
Yeah, and the reason, that reason is one of the reasons why you'd want to have those documents in place for your loved ones to be able to act on your behalf, or your spouse, right? For that matter, something happens to you, right, Kev? Then you got to worry, all right, who's going to take care of me? You can appoint whoever you want. You can appoint your wife. You can appoint anybody you want to take care of you, and those are the folks that would be the agents. So it's important to have.
So let's talk a little bit about probate services. Start by telling people what exactly that is and why it's important.
Well, related to the estate planning, right? Usually folks will put those documents in place. And if they're not in place, then the probate services that we offer are related to basically those three documents, right? So if they don't have a healthcare proxy, for instance, in place, then we have the ability to file, not that folks want to, but we have the ability to file for guardianship. And the guardianship of a person basically is the care of the person, meaning they can talk to doctors, they can assist with the daily activities of living with the person, they can bring in services, they can make the call for them. When it comes to the power of attorney, if they don't have the power of attorney in place, then we oftentimes will have to go for a conservatorship. Conservatorship basically gives the same powers that a power of attorney would do, which is to take care of their assets, their money, their investments, their real estate, all of that stuff would be part of the conservatorship. And then related to the will, if there's assets in the person's name alone, right, without a joint tenancy or some type of a beneficial interest, then the will would need to be introduced to the probate court upon their passing. And so we handle those services as well too, when it comes to handling folks' estates when they pass away. So it kind of goes in phases. And usually once we have the estate plan in place, then a lot of that stuff can be addressed in advance. But if not, then we have the ability to go to the probate court and address those issues as well too.
So I have a follow-up question on that, especially on wills, because for some people, I call it a check mark. It's a checkbox. I got a will, got one. Shouldn't I be visited every couple of years? I mean, not to be mean, but sometimes things change. Maybe I was close to my son, now I'm not. Maybe I want to make changes. So we should probably look at it every couple of years to make sure it's still relevant, and you don't want to change your mind about things.
Right. And so, yeah, that's actually a good idea, right? So as life goes on, kids get older, right? And they may be too young under the age of 18 when you first make your estate plan. And then as time goes on and they reach the age of 18 and beyond, and you're close with your children, you may want them involved in your estate. So it does make sense at that point to do a new set of documents. Yeah, and like you say, relationships with people do change too. You could get estranged from people and you no longer want them inside your document or inside your estate plan or helping you with anything along the way. And at that point, you would want to exclude them from your estate plan at that point. So yes, it does make sense to revisit your estate plan as time goes on. The other thing is you may accumulate assets, right? And in Massachusetts, there is an estate tax for your estate if it's over $1 million. And so that might be an issue that we need to address down the line as well.
Yep. So David, if people have follow-up questions, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
So you can get in contact with me on the phone, which is 781-662-9200. My email is david@cerulolaw.com. I'm all over social media, as you've seen. And I have a website as well, which you're able to contact me on. It's cerulolaw.com.
David, I appreciate you taking a couple minutes to call into the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
All right, Kev. Thank you.